Yeah, Webb Pierce, I told you before I represent Webb Pierce, I told you about him wrecking twice going home in 2 blocks in one day. Well, he had his eyes operated on. So him and Rusty Adams was going home from the hospital. So old Rusty, Webb was driving, Rusty's looking at him. Webb looking at him. Webb said, "Why you looking at, Rusty?" I said, "Well, nothing." "Yeah, why you looking at that?" He said, "Well, your eyes, Webb. One of them bigger than the other." "Oh, call Eugene. I'm gonna sue him. Call Eugene." And him and Rusty Adams one time was in the Denver airport one Sunday morning coming back from a show out there. And old Rusty, he drinks like Johnny Cash, all black. And he could imitate any of them. You could put him in a room, you couldn't tell him from Ernest Tubb, Johnny Cash, or anybody. So his lady run up to him and said, "Ha ha ha, Johnny Cash." He said, "Hello, I'm Johnny Cash." And she wanted his autograph, so she borrowed Webb's pen. He said, "Johnny Cash," signed it. She took off. Old Webb said, "Huh, the old bitch didn't recognize me and kept my pen too." But one Monday morning, Webb and his wife Audrey had been to this movie, saw I believe it's the Life Picture Show. Mm-hmm. It's about this boy and girl in the 41 Fords, making out, and on the radio they're playing, "There stands the glass." And Webb said, "Eugene, I want to sue Universal Studio." I said, "Well, yeah." They said, "That song, that's bad." I said, "Webb, that's the most publicity you've had in your life." And I told you the last time, Webb called me up about every 2 or 3 years, "Eugene, you need to get another divorce for Debbie." So I did. And I always tell these things about what my grandmother always said. That way I can't be sued for it. My grandmother told me. And one thing she always said was, all the crazy people are not in the asylum. And that's pretty rare. You look around and tell that.
Yeah.
And another thing, guy, when you're driving down the road, keep it between the ditches. But remember this, for every mile of road, there's 2 miles of ditches. And Yogi Bear said, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. And I had this old man in church one time, and the preacher's up preaching, going on, said, "Anybody that doesn't have an enemy in the world, stand up. Anybody not an enemy in the world, stand up." Finally, the old guy got up on his chain, like that. "That's fine, brother. How'd you do it?" "I outlived the SOB." This guy one time in North Dakota in the winter, big snowstorm, blizzard. On Sunday night, so he went to church, and the 6 people showed up. But the preacher, he preached for an hour and a half. And so he's getting ready to leave. The preacher asked him, said, "Well, brother," said, what did you think about my sermon?" He said, "Well, preacher," said, "I feed 150 herd of cattle every morning and night. I give them a load of hay each time. But if just 6 of them show up, I don't give them the whole load." And we had this thing the other day on the Chamber of Commerce, honoring us old boys, been around a while. And I told Jeannie, "Jeannie, imagine this." I said, "Here I am, I'm graduated from LMU, graduated from law school, been practicing law 20 years. I'm in LMU Hall of Fame. I got a bridge named after me on Interstate 81. And I don't know what all." I said, "Could you imagine that in your wildest dreams?" She said, "Gene, you're not in my wildest dreams."
Got your grandmother and the few good funerals.
I are. Oh, well. Fair and Young lived in the same subdivision I lived in, the old Brandywine Farm. Well, one year for Christmas, about two or 3 years before he died, well, he got this artificial Christmas tree. Well, whenever Christmas was over, he took it out in the front yard and set it out. And it sat there for 2 or 3 years until after he's gone.
Whole neighborhood hated it.
I know, everybody drive by talking about that artificial, left the decorations, everything on it. And, you know, Jimmy Snow, Hank Snow's son, well, he's a preacher. He was married to Carol Lee Cooper. Everybody knows who Carol Lee Cooper was. Well, one day Jimmy got up in church, told his congregation, said the Lord had spoken to him, and the Lord told him to take another wife. That Carol Lee was not right for him, he needed another wife. So he divorced Carol Lee. So 2 or 3 years later, a bunch of them standing around over here at the Opry, Grandpa Jones, Bill Carlisle, I don't know who all. Here comes Carol Lee by. And only Carol Lee can come by, you know. And old Bill Carlisle plus Grandpa, he said, you reckon the Lord's still laughing about that joke he pulled on Jimmy Snow? You know, Charlie Lubin told me one time Dale Wood rode with him, you know, up above Boston when it was Labor Day they did a show. So she rode up there and back with him. And you know, Dale talked a lot. Well, Charlie said Dale talked about everybody up there and everybody all the way back. Finally, Charlie said, Jesus Christ, Dale. She said, let me tell you about him. And you know, this judge, that was a good dinner, wasn't it? This judge had this case, you know, and on board there, you know, he's asking the jury, qualifying the jury, you know. The plaintiff, the prosecutor got up and said, well, anybody here, did anybody on this jury panel know the defense lawyer? Yes, this lady stuck up her hand. Well, what do you know about him? Said he's a no-good cheat. He ran around on his wife. He filed bankruptcy. I wouldn't trust him to stand on a stack of Bibles. Oh, so then the defense got a chance to ask the jury, you know, well, anybody in here know anything? Know the prosecuting attorney? The old lady stuck up her hand. Yes, I do. Well, what about him? Said, well, he's also a cheat. He's a gambler. He's a drunkard. And I wouldn't trust him standing on a stack of Bibles either. About that time, the judge said, sidebar, you two lawyers come up here. He leaned over and said, listen, if either one of you all ask her if she knows me, I'm putting both of you in jail. And you know, down in Indiana, I used to write 450 contracts a year. And went with the golden rule. Those had the gold made the rules. So therefore, I didn't sign one of their contracts. I wrote my own contract. They had only to do business in the US, they had to sign our contract. So that's the way it is. Whenever you do business with somebody, you watch out if you're signing their contract because they got the golden rule on you there. And this fella, 85-year-old fella, fixed to marry this 25-year-old girl. So he told her one time, said, well, we need to talk. She said, about what? He said, about a prenup agreement. She said, well, okay, so what about it? He said, well, I want you to know sex. So what about sex? Said, well, I want you to know it's going to be infrequent. She said, is that one word or 2 words?
When is this going to be?
Oh boy, White Pine had the drugstore, sanitary drugstore, and old boy went in there one time, you know, and old Robert Hugh Clipper was the soda jerk. He's up front, you know. And so this old boy walked in and asked this girl, said, I need some talcum powders. She turned around and started walking towards the back, said, walk this way. He said, lady, if I could walk that way, I wouldn't need the talcum powder. All right, time for questions and answers.
Oh,
That's it, that's all of them.
One more photo, please.
Oh yeah, oh no. Yeah, this thing's still working. Here we go, here we go. Thank you all for coming. I enjoyed it.
yeah.
Couldn't have done it without you.